Award Wrestling here. What a cool day. Fourth show recording today. And I'm really honored to have my man Eligh Rivera on. I had him once on real early into COVID. And ever since then, we haven't been really able to connect on the show. But he's up at Princeton now, competing at a high level. If you don't know, he competed for Lake Highland Prep, 4-year starter, finished high school ranked 5th in the country. He's a 2-time national prep champ, NHSCA champ, Super 32 All-American, 2-time Ironman All-American. Currently finishing up his freshman year at Princeton, where he started at 149 as a true freshman, right? True freshman?
Yep.
And was ranked as high as 19. He's also getting to become a world team member for the second time with Team Puerto Rico down there in the island. So pretty cool, and this year's been a hell of a year for him. What's up, man?
Nothing much. Been busy with wrestling, finishing up first year of school here. Class has been pretty difficult, but we're getting through them. Coming to the end, last little 2 weeks of the freshman year.
That's awesome, man. So, obviously you wrestled for one of the top high school teams in the country down here in Florida with Lake Highland Prep. What's the transition been like from like high school level wrestling at the highest level to obviously Princeton college wrestling at the highest level?
So I think for me, it was not super difficult when it comes to the training and the demand of the school and practice schedule, because Coach Palazzo does a really good job of running our practices and our workouts the same almost as a college schedule. So that wasn't much of a change. Didn't really affect me that much. The biggest difference obviously is the competition. In high school, you can have tournaments where the first couple of matches might be a little easier, or weekends where a duel's not that hard, but in college, you don't really get that.
There was a point this year where, and I'm trying to remember the match, but you knocked off a ranked kid. It was early in the year. Was that a moment where you really felt like, man, I belong at this level?
Yeah, for sure. I started off the season a little bit rough with the first couple opens, so had me questioning a little bit, but once we started to get into duels, I started to feel a lot better about like my wrestling, about the transition to college wrestling. And when I won that match, it kind of felt like, yeah, I definitely belong here.
So, you were recruited by Ayers and Dubuque. Obviously, Ayers makes the transition and takes over across the country. Great, absolutely phenomenal human. I wish him the best. But Dubuque steps up, so you don't really get a big change, a big culture shock, a big change and everything there. What's it been like with Dubuque and now Quincy Monday and Reese Humphrey? What's that transition been like for you?
I love them. Like I'm super happy for Ayers. Had a great opportunity and take it like anybody would. But Dubuque has been my guy from the beginning. So having him take over, and I love his style, like his coaching, his practices, everything fits super well with me. He's a great person to be around. Same thing with Quincy and Reese, like super high energy, super positive, which I love. Great. Like Reese is super, super good with very technical stuff. And then Quincy's also just great. Like I wrestle with him a lot, so it's awesome to have him in the room. Super motivational, super like just keep the team uplifted. Same thing with Dubuque. So I think it's a really nice combination. Plus we have Cody Brewer coming next year. So that's also going to be really cool.
Yeah. And I was happy that they gave it to him. He's a great guy. I saw him at trials. I didn't get to talk to him because he's obviously coaching. So we made eye contact and I pointed to him, but he was pretty locked into the kids that he had there. And you have some kids in your room like Drew Hedowitz, who you came up with and competed. It's got to be cool. So your brother's coming, right?
Mm-hmm. Next year.
You excited to get him in the room?
Yeah, super excited. I think it'll be really good for him. It'll be really good for both of us. he's come up a few times, rolled around with some of us. I think it'll be really nice. I'm really close to my brother, so it'll be super cool to have him here, like just in life, but also in wrestling on the team.
Yeah. You guys aren't punching each other anymore?
Nah, not anymore. We kind of got over that.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I love being around you guys. Obviously, you used to help my son a lot. You'd call him up and have him come out and train with you when you had some big names in town, and that definitely was awesome. So, man, Princeton, wow, right? I mean, that what a place. The history there, the program, not just the wrestling, but the facility. Uh, what's it been like just being a part of an Ivy League program?
It's super cool. Like just like being able to go to school and seeing all of these like super old buildings. Walk around places that like people like look up to. People come visit. Like school's never dead. There's always people walking around, just coming to like see the buildings, see the um old structures, statues. So it's kind of cool. You can be like, yeah, I go here. Um, I go to this. I go in this building every day for a Spanish class or something.
That's
Um,
awesome, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I remember talking to your dad. He was like, man, he was obviously he's very proud of you guys and a good dude. But man, yeah, the transition you talked about the transition as far as not being as hard because of being able to go through a program like Lake Highland Prep. Obviously, a huge program. The Palazzos do a great job over there. Uh, what have they meant kind of in your growth and transition to where you are now?
Lake Highland has played a huge part in obviously where I am today, but I think they do a great job of molding kids to the work ethic that it takes at a college level. Um, Plazo is really good when you get a kid that buys into it and buys into his little so-called craziness, I guess some people like to call it.
Yeah.
But I think personally, it definitely helped me going to being able to just come to Princeton, and sometimes you got to do workouts on your own. Um, and even within the team, like it just builds you to be a great like leader in the room when it comes to like hard things, just different mindset, different like always he preaches have a positive mindset, which is a huge key role in my life.
So what is you know, we'll stay in high school a little bit. What is your most memorable moment on the mat from your high school wrestling days, whether it was during the season or in one of those national tournaments? Is there a moment that like sticks out to you that you're like, wow, that one it was one of my favorite moments?
So I think that when it comes to the team, personally, I loved the car rides like to and from tournaments. Super funny. Like it's hard to see if you're from the outside because Plaza kind of seems super hard, like not really fun. But when it comes to like just being with the team, like super outgoing, funny, and then like on the mat probably was when I won preps the second time my senior year because it's like my last match last time wearing a Lake Highland singlet. Super mixed emotions, like happy but also very sad at the same time. But it was kind of crazy. It all just came to an end after one match.
Yeah. So you're wrestling in college now. What is that atmosphere like? What is it like being in a college, a Division I gym, and those duels and having an actual big crowd around and people rooting for you? What's that energy like?
It's great. It's great. Especially with our alumni are huge with their support and matches and duels, super crazy. And it definitely helps us wrestle better. But just being able to walk out, like I know the feeling, my first few matches, just like walking out wearing a Princeton singlet, definitely is like you're in the moment, you're like, oh, I really did it, like I really made it, like when I was little. This is exactly what I wanted. I'm here. So it's nice to take in those moments sometimes. And when it comes to fans, I love our fans, but personally, I love away duels, which is it's just a little controversial, but I love the opposite crowd, just the booze and everything. It just fuels my desire to win even more.
Oh, that's awesome. And a New Jersey kid, so I'm sure what's it been like being home? Your family is close. I know Dad is still down here. I know you're with your brother being at Lake Highland Prep, your sister being at the First Academy. Um, they're still down here, but the rest of your family's still in Jersey, right? Are you able to see more family now that you're up there?
Yeah, I've been able to see my grandparents, my cousins, a lot of my extended family have been able to come to my matches and everything. So it's cool a little bit being back, but definitely miss the weather in Florida for sure.
Yeah, my son's up in Illinois, Daniel, and
hmm
the first time that he got all that snow, man, he was outside and he was like, man, it was like -10 degrees or something. He's like, I'm not in Florida anymore. This is cold.
Yeah,
So yeah.
it's definitely not fun. Snow is not my favorite thing.
So it's your second time being on the Puerto Rican world team. Um, man, I'm taking Daniel down this year to in a week to compete at U20s and have that experience, and hopefully he does well. Um, but I'm really happy he's getting that experience. What's that experience been like for you to be part of a world team like that and be able to travel and obviously it's your heritage, so pretty cool thing. Talk about that.
It's amazing. Like just being able to travel the world, like, and wrestling is huge. Like when I was little, I know it was kind of the same feeling, like just being able to go to different states for tournaments like Super 32 or NHSCA or something. But now it's like I'm on another level and I get to go travel the world. Last year I went to Jordan for Worlds, and got to represent my country. But it's huge. It's a great experience. Just take it all in. I'll be going to Pan Am's in Colombia in late June, which will be super fun. And it's just cool. You get to wrestle people from other countries wrestle totally different. So it's just a completely different way of wrestling, plus freestyle. I love freestyle.
What's that process to so you're on the U23 team right now, right?
Yep.
And then is that the next step from U23 would be the process to represent Puerto Rico at the next Olympics, right?
Yep. At Senior Worlds and then in the Olympics in 4 years. Yep.
So when you're at the Olympics in 4 years, you're going to call me up to be your personal photographer.
Yeah, I got you for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Let me take advantage of that. Cool, man. Well, is Ethan going to go down there and try and do the same thing? Does he want to go on that track as well, or is
Yeah.
he
He'll
happy?
be there. He'll be there next week. Going for U20s. I think he won the national tournament, so he's sitting in the finals. Just has to win one match, and then he'll be on the U20 team,
Oh,
which will
nice.
be
What
awesome.
kilogram?
He's wrestling 57.
Oh, nice. We're going to go 74. I think CJ's sitting finals, which
Yeah,
is which is awesome. He's a great kid, and I love the family, and we could just be so lucky to get to the finals and wrestle him. That would be awesome. Um, just to have them two together. But yeah, well, I'll be down there with my camera, so make I'll make sure to you know I'll make sure to be there to try to get some photos of your brother for you and wrestling and stuff. So that would be fun. But
yeah. I'm
cool,
sure
yeah.
he'll love
And
that.
no, I keep talking to. I was talking to Coach Bono and his assistant, and they got a kid going down wrestling 70 kilogram. Julian.
Yeah, Julian George. I was on the. He was. I traveled with him, stayed with him, and practiced with him last year at Worlds. Super great kid. Love his energy. Super good
But
at wrestling.
he and Soto are at the same kilogram, right?
Yeah, I actually wrestled Victor when I was down there for U23s. I wrestled him he was in my bracket.
Well, that's gonna be. I can't wait to watch that match, Julian and Victor. That should be a. Those two guys can scrap, huh?
Yeah, that'll be a great match. I think they'll definitely go at it. Can't pick sides, but it'll be
Yeah,
super fun to
but
watch.
like for Daniel was in between weights, and it was like 6 and 1, half a dozen of the others. Like it, you go down, you've got Julian and Victor. You go up, you got CJ and those guys. So I said, well, just go where it makes you feel comfortable, where you don't have to kind of squeeze so much weight out, and we're just going to have fun and experience it.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of at the same thing. Could have gone down to 65, would have been a tough cut, but or I could have gone at 70 and just lost a little bit of weight and kind of just felt better, and I just wanted to feel better. I think I wrestled a lot better than I would have if I would have went down to 65. A lot more energy, so I'm really happy with staying at 70.
So talking to a lot of the college kids when they get up there, they go through that first month or two of where like, man, this sucks being away from home, going through a little transition. Uh, did it help? Obviously, being actually home, like you're in Jersey, so when you have a tough moment, you're able to lean on grandma or maybe go by the house and get some home cooked meal. Did that help you get through that initial transition of being away?
Yeah, I think for sure it definitely helped a little bit. Just having like knowing that if I needed something, I could have somebody like one of my family members just come and bring me something or just get away for the weekend. Definitely helped with the transition, making it a lot easier. Um, Plus, it's not super hard for me to go home, even for a weekend. Like, there's an airport really close to here, so it's not crazy difficult. But it was nice having close family friends or family coming to like help me or come see my matches.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, obviously, I have a freshman, right? So I know the initial transition of getting to school, and that's cool. And two siblings that are athletic too. Your sister's a great softball player over at the First Academy, and your brother's coming with you next year. So, and I'm sure her goal is to get to Princeton also, right? I mean, have how happy would that make your parents to have all three of you going through Princeton education? My uncle was educated there. He graduated from Princeton. He played baseball there, and his wife was actually one of the associate athletic directors with the program, and she would help out. I think that's what she did. She would help out Coach Ayers with the transition and stuff like that with kids coming in. Now she does it. She's an independent contractor, and they refer kids to her. Her last name is Deutsch, and you may hear her around. But yeah, definitely have ties. They live in town there, so obviously, if you ever need anything, I could always reach out to them. And
Thank you, appreciate that.
I'm sure they'd come and help you. They're very tied to the program. But man, it's been great getting to catch up and stuff. I know. Uh, well, we message all the time because I'll do graphics and stuff for you and things like that. But man, I hope you win the Pan Ams. I hope you go win the Worlds, and I'll definitely be rooting for you. And you like the freestyle better than the folk style?
Yeah, personally, I'm a big proponent of neutral wrestling, feet and wrestling on your feet, much rather than top and bottom. So I think freestyle fits a lot better into my style. So I'm super excited to just train this all summer.
Did you watch the Olympic trials?
Yeah. I watched it over the past weekend. Super great wrestling.
Would you agree? Like somebody was asking me, and I've never wrestled, but I've been around it a lot, right? So I've kind of learned that way. But it seemed like it was just very basic technique at like an ultimate high level.
Mm-hmm.
Like you didn't see anything funky or crazy. Nobody took risk. It was just simple technique, but at obviously the highest level.
Yeah, you didn't. It was very noticeable, especially once it got past the first 2-3 rounds. Very tight matches. Everything was pretty much one or two takedowns. Sometimes not even a takedown. But yes, very technical, very basic moves. But they mastered them.
Yeah, they make it look easy against each other, but
Mm-hmm.
obviously it's not. Did the sport slow down or speed up when you made that transition? I know, down here, like or not down here, but in high school, you'll see just matches that I mean, you've been part of them where you blow somebody out or you text somebody, but it seems like you watch these college matches and they're much closer and they're much more uh tight matches. Did it slow down? Did it speed up? Is it just something where you got to think more, be a little smarter?
I think it's a little bit mix of both. Um, I think that you have to slow it down in the sense of like your technical stuff. Um, but there's also some things that you have to speed up to, like my reaction time. Hand fight definitely has to get a little bit faster, a little bit harder. But when it comes to shots and like shot selection, timing, like that kind of stuff definitely slows down. Just so at first, but then eventually always constantly trying to build it back up to where you can do precise and fast at the same time.
All right, so two more things before you go. First thing is, so kids at any level that are getting ready to transition from high school to college, what is the one thing you would say, hey, the off season before this, or to prepare for the college room, this is the one thing you need to work on?
So I would say mat wrestling for me personally, definitely on top was the one thing that I needed the most this year, that I wish if I could go back and work on it last summer, I would. Even bottom too, both, but most specifically just becoming like making yourself a weapon on top is a game changer for sure.
Did you get that? Did you go through where the coach would say you can't leave until you get off bottom?
Yeah, a few
Yeah.
times,
Daniel was like, so 39 minutes later, I was still in the room. All right. Better food, Florida or Jersey?
Florida for sure.
Oh, yeah, Florida guy.
Publix.
All
I miss
right.
Publix. That's what I miss.
The fried chicken and the subs.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have, what is it? What's that roll they have up there? That sandwich that has like it's some
Oh, the
sort of roll.
hoagie.
Yeah, the hoagie and stuff. Oh, we're getting Wawas down here, so we're getting close. That's cool,
Yeah.
man. I always appreciate your support, and thank you so much for always keeping in touch with me. And I'm always following you and rooting for you and the family. So I look forward to keep seeing it. Hopefully one day I can be Matt's side at one of your college matches and getting some more photos of you. That'd be fun.
Thank you. I appreciate that.